and welcome to the show. We are here today on Forza Horizon 5 with, well, kind of a challenge, if you like. Recently, a new Rallycross car was added to the game. This is the Subaru, I think it's the Nitro Rallycross car, pretty much, which is a fun little addition. Whenever we get, though, these sort of cars added to the game, we find the best way to test them out is to try and build some rivals to it. So with I say with the rough, it wasn't a very, I say, a crazy specific set of rules, but with a rough kind of restriction on the vehicles to be along the lines of the Subaru. So 255 tyres for the cars, around 2,800 pounds, around 600 horsepower, using the rally tyres, and around 850 PI. Vehicles have been built. We have an RS3, we have an i8, which is a little bit of an oddball in here. Veloster N with the kind of wide body kit, recently added that wide body kit for the Hyundai. With the new Lynk&Co, we have a Mini Countryman, we have an Audi TT, we have a Scirocco, we have a Golf. There is an S1 somewhere that seems to have despawned from my loading into drone mode as well, because Forza being Forza. Yeah, we're going to see which of these cars is going to be faster than, what can keep up with the Subaru, and hopefully have plenty of fun racing along the way. For our first race, we have come to the Lookout Scramble. Now, this is one of the custom circuits built by Rusky that we ran a little while ago. It's essentially using the Lookout circuit, only the track surface has been changed to dirt. So this is a full off-road race for our cars to be tackling. We have a nice spot on the grid. I will say the Subaru is not great off the line. I did actually have to have a fiddle around with the gearbox to try and get it to actually get going. And even then, it's not great, although, that being said, we have just about matched everything else. So that's not too bad. The S1 is having a little bit of a look through this long first corner. Not really sure how fast we can get. I'm used to taking this on the tarmac, of course. On the dirt, it's all very, very different. Subaru has got through all of this quite nicely. The Mini is up to second. The Audi was briefly challenging us, has dropped back. We're going to get a bit of a slide through there. I think the real trick is going to be kind of stopping these cars from sliding if we can. The Mini is having a little bit of a sniff around. Oh, that's got caught up on the bump big time there. Mini has found a way, let's say found a way through, made the most of us. So this surface is a prop that changes the track surface, but it does get quite bumpy in places. And we just got caught out by a rogue bump and got ourselves launched sideways and a little bit wide. And the Mini doesn't need a second opportunity to look for a way past. It's quick into turn all kind of 2, 3, 4 all the way around here for both these cars. Mini brushes the wall. Can we make the most of our opportunity? We get a little bit of understeer mid-corner there, almost end up in the door of the Mini. Not quite the line we were wanting to be taking there. We've pulled a big gap over the car in third. That's the Lynk&Co sat back there. Oh, we have not got that right at all. I say it's not the worst, we've just not really made up time. We get a very good exit through there. That's the bump that caught me out last time. I got the car very sideways on. The Mini had actually chucked it into this sort of penultimate corner, probably a little bit too hard. They made a little bit of a gap, then lost a little bit of a gap, and we've come out just about even. Lynk&Co sits in third, holding on to that position, and looks like they've got a bit of a gap back to anybody else. Don't want to hit the inside dirt there if we can help it. I'm struggling on the back end of my car, moving all over the place through there, which is not really what I wanted it to be doing. Now, if we can stay flat through here, not brush the wall, that's what we like. You're just trying to keep the car nice and under control and as smooth as possible on. Well, these are very quick cars on a tricky surface around here. It's easy to get chucked about a bit too much. Now we can turn underneath this Mini. We definitely seem to be able to. Although the Mini, I think, is riding the bumps actually better than we are here. The Mini's very wide here. They struggle to get on the power on the exit. They do. Mini will just fend us off for now, but yeah, it's getting close. I think the Mini might out-accelerate us a tiny bit. I think we out-handle it in places as we barrel into this seemingly never-ending corner. Impetus has to have a kind of correction mid-corner. Unfortunately, I say unfortunately for us, we've both done exactly the same thing there. Both run wide and clonk the wall. Bloody hell. Where am I going to find a way past? I mean, if we hadn't hit the wall there, I think we could have done it on the run up the hill, but we were just in the, I'd say pretty much in the tyre tracks of the car ahead. We were doing that mistake of just following the lead car, and it ran wide, we ran wide. We've got too much oversteer here. We're going to struggle to put our power down. We might be able to get underneath the Mini through here. We might be able to cross it over heading into this final corner. The Mini found some good speed out wide on the exit. We have got... Can we slide jump in front of it? Almost. We kind of crowded out a little bit. The Subaru's to the lead of the race now. I just couldn't quite make that line work for a second time in a row. We will lead the way over the bumps into this first sequence of corners. The Mini is right behind us. It was having a look. We've got to not get too much understeer or oversteer. Just all of the steers. That is lovely through there for the Subaru. That's exactly what we wanted. Will the Mini want to have a dive to the inside down here? It might be thinking, it looked like it had actually a bad time over the bumps. Paga might be thinking about trying to get to the inside through here, so I'll just try and be neat and tidy this time out. We are lovely and composed through there. It's a little bit too much of a slide actually through that section. Park it on the apex, make it difficult for a Mini to find a way past. Oh, I wanted to look back, see where it was. However, oh, it's right there. It's a drag race to the line. It's going to just go the way of the Subaru, but only just. Bloody hell. That was a hard fought for battle at the end of that one. Fastest lap. Funnily enough, really close. Really, really close. Between me and Impega, it slightly goes the way of Impega. The Lynk&Co not too far back either. That will round out the podium. Oh, Subaru claims victory. A real hard fought for battle right there. Oh, just did it. Almost got screwed by the bump. We are off to the Mangrove Scramble for our second race. I mean, this is a very different sort of a track. It is probably a bit of a faster track than previous, and I mean, probably all the tracks we're going to actually one of the faster ones. And this is something that might come in when we've done these kind of build challenges in the past. In general, the pre-built race car is better handling, and the custom-built stuff is faster down the straight, better accelerating off the line. Yep, we've been beaten by the Mini, definitely been beaten by that BMW. The i8 is rapid. So yeah, we have to make up our lap time in the corners. That's the plan. We will see whether that's actually going to work well enough for us around here. It does, like after that first race, it does feel closer than we've seen in the past. The S1 is rapid down the straights. That is, oh god, it's rapid down the straight and very nearly fell over and murdered us in its attempts at falling over. Well, that's off to a wonderful start for me. We're going to have a lot of recovery work to try and do here, and I don't know if 5 laps is actually going to be enough. We can be very fast. The only thing that we will have going for us here is we will be relatively untroubled by this, by the traffic. We will be able to run clean laps at least. I don't know if the S1 was lagging. It might have been, judging by how far that was on its side. That's not a normal way for a car to behave, so I don't know if it lag pinged itself across the track. So yeah, we got some work to do with the i8 leading the way, and well, we know very quick cars up at the front. We saw how fast the i8 was in a straight line. Can we get stopped? We do. Right, by the end of this lap, we kind of really need to be in with the pack. We're not that far off the tail end of it. It looks like I mean, you can tell where the Lynk&Co is. It's bright green, and it is involved in that kind of scrap over 7th place at the moment. There is a Scirocco in the wall. Oh, that is not so good for Ewan. Well, there's 2 cars down in this. Ewan has spun it around and recovered. We can be... I mean, we barely actually need to go on the brakes through there. We can just throw the Subaru in. That's how much grip we've got. This next section, I think I'm better off going for... Oh, yeah, I haven't got quite the grip through there. I'm used to off-road race tyre. So we're on rally tyres rather than the off-road race for this event. And these tyres just don't bite quite as much through there. So we found a little bit more realistic tyres for a kind of rallycross car. Yeah, and it just doesn't quite bite as much in that sort of mud as I might perhaps be used to on some vehicles. BMW still leading the way. Something got very weird line through there, got spat out. I mean, this is a really big gaggle of cars. So the top two are gone, and then there's just this huge gaggle of cars that we're about to fly into, which will be interesting to be a part of in what I think is a very quick car. Gliska's getting stuck in with the Lynk&Co. We see we're not going to outrun that S1, I don't think. Although we might be able to just outgrip it through here. We are, and we are up into 8th place now. Okay, Subaru. I mean, third is actually not completely out of the question here, because Speed Beast is third with the RS3, and that's at the front of this group, which we have amazingly caught up with. So it shows the speed of the Subaru, but also shows the amount of time lost fighting. This group is currently losing a lot of time fighting one another. I don't want to visit another tree. I'm not going to do that, because if it goes away, you see why I backed out of it. The Lynk&Co basically understeered up to the wall. If I'd been on the outside, guess what? Know where the Subaru would have ended up. How are we going to pass all of this lot? I mean, we've got so much speed in this car, but it is always the difficulty. How do you get through the traffic when you have pace in the car? I mean, this could be a spot to find some overtaking if we get it right. We are pretty good under brakes here, but not going to be not going to find a way past this time. The S1 had a dive and has made up some positions. So we're now stuck. Oh, going to get caught up on the bumps a little bit. Ollie's very slow off of all of that. We are going to try and get to the inside here. It's the inside. Well, didn't actually expect to get past Gliska in that, but I'll take it where I can get passes. So we got two in one go there. We will get a little bit of a lean on an S1 through there. They put me in a tree, I think is only fair. I'm trying to get clear of the RS3. That's not going to work. This is already dicey at best. We are going to get squeezed into a wall. I'm not giving up on that one. Backed out of it before. Final lap of the race. Not backing out of it now. I think Speedbeast may have missed a checkpoint somewhere as well, which I wouldn't have thought it was that one. But or maybe it was on the inside. Maybe they did miss the one on the inside. I think Blakey might have got third wrapped up here. Which is, I say, we definitely had the pace for it, because, I mean, how quickly we caught the group and everything, but we are just going to run out of laps to do anything about Blakey's car, and yeah, we're kind of just stuck in this battle with worse handling. Oh, and that was Mr. Checkpoint as well. Oh, yeah, we ran out of laps. We ran out of laps to do anything, and that will be that, really. Oh, dearie me. It was an interesting climb up through the field. Fastest lap for me will probably be sort of like 1 or 2. Yeah, when we're running in clean air, funnily enough. Don't know whether it'll be enough. I mean, I would imagine it probably would be quite close to the top 2. I would expect that car to be close there, and indeed it is. It's the fastest. The only car is the 1 minute 9s. Impega and Blakey actually both very quick. 1 minute 10.2 to 10.3. But it's the BMW i8 of Araski that will claim victory in this race. So we head into race number 3. It is the Caldera Scramble, and it is snowy here, which I mean, we're all in the same boat. We're all on the same tyres, so everyone is going to have the same amount of sliding about, pretty much. I think this is the one season, the one track where snow tyres are useful. At the moment, I'm still expecting an expansion to involve some sort of snow for this game at some point in the future, but yeah. Who knows what this... I mean, I expect it to be pretty good here. This is a very technical track. Unlike previous circuit, we should have the best handling car here, in theory, so we should be pretty good. Oh, Impega clipped that outside wall. That is not what the Mini was wanting at all. through here. The very quick accelerating Audi is to the lead, although we've just snuck our way past. We've got a Golf all over the back of us that's having a look, and that's actually going to pin me at a really awkward angle through there. We are out the other side. We've now got to be street sweeper with all these rocks on lap number 1. Thankfully, they weren't actually slowing me down as much as I thought they were going to. Oh, we got some understeer mid-corner, and the Golf wants to go and make the most of it. The Audi understeered wide and hit the wall. Now, I don't mind being on the outside at turn 1, because you can just dig into the banking and fire the car off the corner, and it kind of works. So, yeah, I don't mind being stuck on the outside. The Volkswagen is definitely there having a look. Oh, that's way too much understeer through there. So much understeer from this. Although, by those, everybody also struggling with similar things behind. If I'm struggling with understeer, so is a lot of other cars here. As I said, we have probably got the best handling car, technically speaking, here. We are going to slide our way through there. But we're going to get the change of direction right. Got to be able to make the most of our grip where we can. Oh, you see, I don't want to go too wide, because I do know this thick snow, if you end up driving through it, can really ruin your day. It's actually quite difficult to pull the car off the thick snow, so you kind of just get stuck out wide, being dragged towards the wall, which is not good. We've got, I mean, it's a great, it's a really close field. Golf leading Mini, leading S1, leading the Lynk&Co's back there. I don't know where Blakey is without Veloster, especially with that in 8th at the moment. Oh, God, because the Veloster was certainly not slow at the previous track. We are sliding about. We saw the Golf. Oh, that's out of position through here. That wasn't so good. All the advantage we did have has got away, pretty much. As I say, saw the Golf slide through kind of the third-person camera a little bit. It dropped back. Oh, that's all sorts of wrong there. So everybody's even more wrong than me. Don't follow me. I was asking a lot of my car, and everybody asked about the same of theirs, and mine was the closest to sticking. Gliska's had a field day in that one. It's gone great for the green machine. It has got its way up to second as everybody understeered wide and hit the wall. We are going to try and coax our car a lot better through this section than we did last time out. It is neater and tidier for us here. That Lynk&Co's got some speed. In the twisty thing, it might be struggling top end, but in the twisty stuff, that is not slow at all. We are neat and tidy though. Yeah, that final section, if we get it, say if we get it right, if anyone gets it right, you can make up a good portion of lap time through that final corner, because you just can't afford to end up out wide. As we come off the banked turn 1, Glister's just fallen back a little bit, and if they start fighting with that Mini, that is going to hopefully keep them busy and distract them long enough for us to maintain this gap, even if we make a silly mistake like lightly brushing the wall. Let's get through this change of direction here nicely if we can, which we do, although we get a little bit more oversteer on the exit than I would have liked. And this guy has actually closed in, I think, through that section. We've just got to get this part right. Yeah, so important to get that section right, and Gliska doesn't. They slide and end up in the wall. Yeah, we can make such a good. I say we can make a good amount of lap time just by. You're slow on the way into that corner, and it's deceptive. It feels like you should be fast, because you would normally be a lot faster through there, but because of the conditions, because it's on this sort of snow and maybe a bit of ice and all that, you just can't quite turn in the same way as you expect, and that does seem to be working wonders for us as we head through these final couple of corners now. Gliska is under considerable pressure from that Mini. Oh, we are again out a little bit wide. There's a few places where I'm just pushing my luck a little bit with the Subaru, but it's nicely enough out of the final corner. We've built the gap. It looks like the Lynk&Co might hold on, will hold on to second ahead of the Mini. I think the i8 crossed the line in fourth, sorry, in that one. It did not bad showing, actually. You see, we didn't really get a very quick lap in all of that. I mean, it was close lap time by Lynk&Co, very fast. When they got it right. I'm surprised by the difference in lap time, actually, in all of that. However, we do claim a victory for the Subaru. Another good race. for our final race, we have come to the Baja Scramble circuit. Looks like me and the Mini are at the... Oh, we and the Mini at the back. The BMW is at the front. That could be... it could be a tough one to beat. We know it's got a lot of straight line speed, although it might not like the bumps. Of course, the i8 is closest to a supercar. I guess the i8 is closest to the supercar. The Mini's the closest to an SUV. The game counts the Mini as an SUV. It's not really. Yeah, so ground clearance on the BMW could cause it some grief, perhaps. My car should be, again, will be good in the corners. We may struggle for ultimate straight line speed in some places, but I'll have to wait and see really how it all pans out. Can we make the most of ghost mode? No, kind of. We're being a little bit sneaky trying to get past, I think, the longbow in all of that. We're on the outside as Speed Beast's Audi causes a little bit of grief through there. Me and Impega trying to be sneaky. Well, we're going to go through the middle of that. Can we scoot around the outside, get a good run off the corner? I do like the high line at that corner. If you've got a good enough handling car, you can really make it work. And it might have worked to pass the Mini. No, we're out the groove there completely. Well, we weren't the only one to get ourselves in strife there. Luckily, we kind of pinged off of it. BMW has the lead of the race here. We are stuck on the outside of the Lynk&Co, heading up towards the final corner. I hope we got the checkpoint. I think it did in all of that. I want to carry a lot more speed through turn 1 than I did there. Bloody hell, got boxed in. Now we've got an S1 having a look. Yeah, the difficulty that we have, I mean, it is a difficulty you do get, generally speaking, with the handling cars, of course, but my lap time is made up in the corners, which I just can't use when I'm surrounded by cars. And then they can make lap time on me by just out-accelerating me. We're going to try and duck underneath Longbow's Golf through there, which we do make work. Although the Golf is now fighting back. That's fine. We probably don't need to brake. You can just chuck it in, downshift, and go through there. The Golf cannot quite live with that. Okay, the BMW is struggling a little bit more here. Okay, oh, that's Impega's turn to get wide and smack the wall through there. Alright, we will get our car slowed down. Blakey got very sideways, going for kind of a late apex there. We kind of slid a bit more than I wanted to, really. As we head, a little bit of lag from somebody up ahead. I don't know if that was Blakey or Rusky. I'm sure which car was lagging around. TT's got a big slide, is in big trouble. Unfortunately, it slid right to where I wanted to put my car, so I had to actually back it off a little bit more. However, we are to the inside of the Audi, and I think that will be 4th for us. Try and shut down the Audi from getting a pass there, if at all possible, which we do. And then feed in the power, let the banking do a lot of the work there before getting the car turned. So we're up to 4th. Let's chase down the Mini. Chase down the Beamer if we can. Blakey understeers wide through there. Will Longbow be able to make up some time in that Golf? I don't know whether they'll be able to pass the TT. It's actually fallen back a little bit. So the BMW is really struggling with the banking, kind of the bumps, as I suspected it might do. We are racing towards Impega, but got to get on the brakes here. And Impega taking a much tighter line. The Hyundai going for that late apex to try and get on the power. The BMW struggling for grip. This could be a very, very exciting finish to the race with all 4 of us vying for the lead here. Veloster in trouble over the bumps there a little bit. Heading into turn 1, it is literally just a tap on the brakes for me and a downshift, and that's all. We can carry so much speed through there. It is definitely more speed than the cars ahead. Impega's looking to the outside. The BMW looks uncomfortable on these landings. BMW very sideways through here. We're buying into this. It's 3 wide. I'm going to try and duck underneath. Well, the front end just didn't want to bite there. Sorry, Impega. I really expected the front end to just dig in and turn, because it normally does. And it's all changed at the front. Impega's got the lead. BMW's having a look. I don't know where Blakey's Veloster is. Somewhere around here. We are just going to run the high line through there, which does work. Blakey has come off worst of all of this in the end. BMW is to the inside. That's such a tight line. That's such a tight line to try and hold through there. The i8 is sticking to it. We're going to make it 3 wide into the final corner. We're going to struggle to pull this one up in time, but that's fine. We're going to slide out wide a little bit. Get on that power Subaru. Go, 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 go. We've got one more lap of this to go. The Mini is alongside. Is it fully is it alongside? We'll give it some space through there. We should be okay on the bumps, and we are. Up towards turn 1, we head once more. Not quite the ideal line, although, we're a little slow on the exit. We've got a little too much sliding. BMW is there having a look. Velocity's still not out of this. Longbow has made it to 5th at least, and as all of us are fighting, who knows what way this is going to go. I've actually not got this corner very well here. Hopefully we can get on the power well enough. There is a Mini having a look somewhere. Where is it going to appear from? I want to stay around the water. Don't want to get in trouble with that. We get a little slide mid-corner. Okay. The Mini's got the overlap. Don't care about it. I don't actually want that inside line. I don't really like the inside line through here. I prefer the sort of more mid to higher line through there. And we can chuck the car off the corner. Right. One more big braking zone to go. We should all be flat through here if no one gets in any trouble. We are flat through there. And then brake the car for this corner. I'm actually going very defensive because, I mean, I dive bombed everybody. It was what I did was safe on that previous lap. And I knew I had the brakes to do it. It meant we ran out wide, and yeah, I put the car there so nobody could try a similar maneuver on me, and sure enough, it's victory for the Subaru. Bloody hell, that was hard work. Oh, that was a manic final lap. An astonishingly good final lap as well, I will say that. The final race, I mean, I think me and the Mini were a bit quicker than the field at that track, so just a smidge. The Lynk&Co not too bad, actually, back there at a 10.8. Yeah, a couple of tenths separate me and the Mini. The BMW would get on the podium ahead of the Veloster. The Golf, I mean, the Golf was catching, the Lynk&Co was catching as well. Everything was quite close together in that one. Bloody, that was a mad fight. Oh, but it went the way of the Subaru in the end. A wonderful battle, though. So, for something a little bit different, we would also have a go with a drag race. Don't often run, when we do these kind of builds, don't often run these cars in a drag race. We thought I'd give it a try. The Subaru likely to struggle, not gonna lie. Subaru not expected to do great. It was a lot more about making lap speed in the corners. The i8 expecting to be quite fast here, not gonna lie. Yeah, it's always going to be a tough one for the Subaru. We launch the cars. It's not a terrible start, and then everything's off. In fact, absolutely everything is off. Into this is Mia Scirocco. Poor Lynk&Co. The Lynk&Co also not expected to do great here. I'm not really sure what is up at the front there, but they're a lot further away from me. And yeah, that did not quite... Well, it went as we expected for the Subaru in this one, and kind of for the Lynk&Co and so on. The Vixer would go the way of the i8. Not a big surprise. We saw how fast that was in a straight line. The i8 would claim the Veloster gets up to second. That's good, actually good showing from that car. The RS3 might have been great in the corners, but decent enough down the straight would get third ahead of the Golf. We then have the S1. The Countryman that had been giving Subaru a lot of trouble throughout this would end up in sixth ahead of the TT. The Scirocco was not particularly fast either, but would still get eighth ahead of the Lynk&Co and the Subaru. To our leaderboards. And, well, victory would go to the Subaru. The Countryman gave it a very, very good fight. And I have to say, those two were incredibly close. Me and Pekka had some great races in those cars. They were very, very close. The Subaru a bit better in the corners, the Mini a bit better down the straights. And over the course of most of the laps, it evened out to make them, yeah, damn close. The i8 was a monster down the straights, not as fast in the corners, but on the right circuits could cause some grief. So, yeah, those three were very, very close, sort of in terms of performance. There was half points awarded for the drag race, because, of course, it's much shorter event than some of the others. The Veloster would end up in fourth, ahead of the Lynk&Co. The Lynk&Co was fast in the corners, but it had to be the twistiest circuit for it to have any speed. It just did not have the acceleration that some of the other cars did, but still not a bad showing at all from that in fifth, ahead of the Golf R. It then gets very close towards the lower end of this, with the TT managing to just beat out the Scirocco, the S1, and the RS3. The Audi's not having a great time in this one, unfortunately. They did struggle. They did struggle a little bit overall. But, yeah, I mean, points-wise, yeah, the Subaru won. As far as the builds, as far as the builds go, yeah, it was the Countryman that was really giving the Subaru the biggest trouble throughout the races. It could get pretty damn close to it in the corners, and yeah, made for some great. Not necessarily what I expected when we set out to do this, that the Countryman was going to be the closest to the Subaru Rallycross car, but there you go. That's what's great about this. Sometimes you get results that you don't quite expect. This was a lot of fun to do, actually. This was, yeah, very, very good fun to do. The Subaru monstrously fast in the corners in this. It was a very, very nice car to drive, a very easy car to drive, probably a lot easier to drive than the custom-built ones, I have to say. And while it probably won't get much use overall in the game, certainly for sort of like specific class racing and so on, I love doing these kind of challenges and seeing what we come up with. So yeah, there we go. That is going to be it for this video. Thank you all very much for watching, and until next time, goodbye.